Another tomb was discovered in the area of Abu Sir, southwest of Cairo. The burial place is believed to belong to either the wife or mother of Pharaoh Nefertari, who ruled 4,500 years ago. An Egyptian was digging in his backyard when he discovered a tunnel that leads to the pyramid of Khufu. Upon discovering the passageway, the man contacted the Egyptian Ministry of Antiquities, which sent a team of archaeologists. The team confirmed that the corridor is in fact a tunnel which leads to the Great Pyramid. Herodotus wrote about the tunnel in his histories after he visited Egypt in the 5th century BCE. He writes that he saw an enclosed tunnel covered in reliefs which led to the Great Pyramid. Herodotus was told that the enclosed tunnel took 10 years to build. Mention of this tunnel has spurred archaeologists for decades to search for it, but it always seemed to elude them. While working on the excavation of a top official to Pharaoh Amenhotep II, archaeologists say that they uncovered a 3,000-year-old male mummy who is in his lifetime was responsible for beer production. The Japanese team made the discovery in Luxor, home to large temple complexes built by Amenhotep II and then Ramses II. The tomb of the brewer is well preserved and depicts religious rituals along with his daily life on the wall.
كل حتة في بلدنا حكاية مستنياك. روح عيشها وصورها على هاشتاج This is Egypt وخلي العالم يعرفها زي ما
Egypt is beautiful, lots of discoveries. Mrs. Elham, how are we marketing those discoveries abroad? We have lots of achievements, and marketing our achievements, especially in this attractive field of archaeology, is very important.
Yeah, it's really important, and it's really wonderful and really interesting for the people, for Egyptian and the rest of the world. It needs a lot of marketing. It needs to be follow up everything in details, like day by day, like minute by minute. And this is also attracts the tourists and let the people feel, or let the other countries feel that Egypt is safe. And Egypt working, Egypt change. Egypt changed the last some years ago. So we start working, we start so active, and also we have several things will be soon exploring the field of archaeology. Like our minister announced about it, the discovery, what inside the pyramid, and new things inside the pyramid, a new discovery of the pyramids, and other looking for the pyramid. Also the tomb, probably Nefertari, probably not. But we have soon a new discovery. It's really will be a wonderful story, because it's nobody knows about it, nobody think about it. So it will be soon something. And day by day we have, even when you display one of the artifacts in other way, you discover new information you need to market about. You need to tell something about Egyptian, about Egypt. You discover that Egypt was really a development country, creative country. Thousands of years BC, Egypt was on the earth. Egypt was the top of the pyramid.
Right, definitely, and it will remain, God willing. Well, Dr. Nour, more than one important issue regarding monuments and also those museums that are rich with antiquities. Recently, the Nile Museum was inaugurated. Tell us more about how the students deal with such news of discoveries, and do you take them to trips to the site, to the locations itself?
Yes, we try to do that, and sometimes in a special years, as you see after revolution, we have some obstacles and so on, but we try to do it again, to travel to Luxor and Aswan and so our monuments in its situ. And it's a very important thing for any person, not only for our student in archaeology or Egyptology departments and so on. It's very important to go there, not study it in closed rooms. We must go to see our monuments. Actually, we must make a movement for tourists and to encourage the others to be feeling that Egypt is peace and everything is good and okay and so on.
So the message is there and you're working on it, and the link with the students is there, so that's great, so that they would see hands-on more about the achievements. Mrs. Elham, well, you have a huge responsibility concerning the museum sector, you know, and I guess one of the priorities would be how to make Egyptians themselves interested in going to the museum.
Yes, this is my main point of view. This is really my
Not only the tourists would come and visit.
I get jealous when I was in Paris and see Louvre really crowded with, when I read the reports of Smithsonian or Metropolitan Museum or Louvre Museum or Pitch Museum, 1 million per year inside their museum. I get jealous. I get jealous. I need the 90 million Egyptian will be in museums.
How can you do that? I mean, how would you think out of the box?
Interactive, a lot of work, a lot of activities.
And also you need the new generation, you know, you need to like engage the youth.
The Europeans start with a pregnant woman to teach them how to speak to her child before come inside the museum, how to tell him the story or her the story before come, and to treat them how to deal with museum, and to listen the story. And when we get born, he will or she will come to the museum. So we should start about this. We should start about young age with children. We should.
Yeah, and how about the policy of marketing the museums itself? I mean, we all know more about our top-notch museums like the Egyptian Museum.
Yeah.
There are other lovely museums that we know nothing about.
Yeah, I need media. Yeah, I need media with me. I need media to be inside several museums. I mean, not just focus on Egyptian museum. We have Geir Andersen Museum. It's a wonderful museum. It's a historical museum, wonderful museum. It's a story, because there are a lot of stories behind the object, behind the building, behind a lot of tradition, a lot of magic stories around, a lot of creativity of ancient Egyptian. Till now, Egyptian, they have a special taste of a smile, a special taste of jokes, a special taste of wearing clothes, a special taste of to make a revolution. So they have special things. If we enter the museum, we can listen to. We can feel it, we can taste it, so we can touch it.
Right.
So museum,
so explore Egypt through the museums.
Yes,
all over the country.
And we have, I cannot deny it, we have a lack of marketing. We need to market. We need a special people, a professional people for marketing.
For marketing our treasures.
Yes.
Well, Dr. Nour, tell me more about archaeology as a passion, not as a profession.
Yes, archaeology, it means many things as for me. It means a social life in the past and how they developed their being and how they formed their religion and so on. It is a very, I am very proud for my history and our civilization, as you know. And as you know, and all of us know, that there is a big relation between tourism and the archaeology and Egyptology and our Islamic heritage and so on, and the Coptic heritage also. In Egypt, we have many attractive places and archaeological sites. As my colleague says, that the media must play a great important role in this issue to encourage it, and also must develop our museum, as Dr. Damati is doing nowadays, is very active, and so on. So we try. It is a collaborative work between tourism and archaeologists and Egyptologists and culture ministries and so on, to develop our situation in this issue.
Right, Mrs. Elham, tell me more about efforts for retrieving our treasures from abroad. That file has been debatable for a while.
Yeah, you mean to the lost and found?
Right.
Yeah, yeah. Actually, it's a long story because since people, or since a foreigner or everybody around Egypt, they know Egypt well, and they know well the treasure of Egypt, and they are hungry to get, and they still till now, some Egyptians help these people to excavate in a wrong way or behind.
But what measures have been in place in order to avoid that?
It's a difficult. It's a difficult for disorganized or behind the wall. This kind of excavation, like inside the house or something, and you cannot control it. And even all the world say it. We cannot control it. It was a conference last year about this, how to control